Hey guys, welcome back to Freedom on a Budget. And I just want to tell you what this is. So a lot of you have been so gracious and so wonderful on Instagram and sending me so many nice comments, and it was just so wonderful to read. They brought me to tears every time I opened them up. But I just want to give the story of how I burned myself. And I know the title's a little funny with talking about breaking a fall by grabbing a boiling pot of water. So, story time. Yesterday afternoon, I was making some pasta, of course, and I had just finished unloading the dishwasher, and there must have been some water that was on the cups or bowls and stuff that had dripped onto the floor as I was moving them throughout the kitchen to put them away. And the pasta was already in the pot, and there was probably a minute or two left, and I was walking around and I slipped on the water halfway through the kitchen, and going to brace myself, I don't know exactly how it happened because it happened so quickly. I don't know if I grabbed the pot or just the pot, my hand went into it and it pushed it out or what happened. But this whole hand went into the boiling water. I know that much. And second degree burns here. I have a nice, you can't see it under this shirt, but I have a big, oh that hurts, a big spot right here. And then from right here all the way down to about halfway down my quad, all the way down is all burned. A skinned and bruised knee that's swollen, and then probably this much, pretty much my whole length of my calf, my bottom part of my leg on the side, is all second degree burns. So the pot came forward, the spaghetti went all over the floor, and I am on the ground, and I was blood hurtling, screaming when this happened. I don't know what was going through my mind, but it was just blood. I remember screaming, and it was bad. My cat was ears straight back. She was freaked out of what the heck happened. So got up, turned the stove off, left the pasta, and I just didn't even know what to do. And I'm shaking. So I get out of the kitchen and grab my phone. My aunt's a nurse, and so I called her. My grandma's living with her, and so my grandma answers the phone, and I'm where's Auntie? I need to talk to her. And she said, oh, she's out at a play with your little cousin. It's oh my goodness. So I told my grandma what happened, and I'm shaking, crying, uncontrollable at this point. She's Kelly, you need to go to the ER. You need to call them. You need to figure out something. And I was okay, I know. So I hang up with her. And then we have a system through my work called Teladoc, where you can call in and get a doctor over the phone type of thing, have a phone consult with them. So I called. I've never used them before. I thought it was just going to call in, give it a little member number on my card, and talk to a doctor. That was me. No, it was a 15-minute conversation that we had to have, a 15-minute registration process, which doesn't sound long. But when you're in that much excruciating pain, it felt like forever. I was pacing around my apartment and trying different things, pouring vinegar all over my hand and my body. I was literally standing in the shower just pouring vinegar all down my body. And it would burn, but it would kind of feel good. And then online it said coconut oil. So I literally put my hand in the jar of coconut oil. That didn't really help much. And then I tried ice, and then I saw that ice was bad. So I quickly threw off the ice. It was just bad. So she's asking me all these questions, and she felt bad for me. I could tell. And she's okay, we're going to have a doctor call you today. And I was today? I need to talk to a doctor now because, I don't know what to do. She's okay, we're going to get them as soon as possible. So thankfully, the doctor called me within 5 minutes. And so the doctor was yeah, you need to go to, the ER or urgent care or something because I'm worried about infection. And it's the percentage of burn on your body. And I was it's not that much of my body. There's still my whole left side, my back side that didn't get burned. It's not it's 25% of my body. This is probably, I would say it's probably 10% of my body got burned. And so she's go to go to the urgent care. And it's like, okay. So I'm still pacing around. I realized that cool water makes it feel really good. So I kept on like getting cool water, and that would bring, the pain was probably about a 7 to 8, probably about an 8. I would say an 8. When I do cool water, it brought it down to like a 1. Like it was like a lifesaver. So I would do that for like, and then like 2 or 3 minutes, it would be fine. And then it would spike back up to an 8. So I called Jamie's mom to see, Jamie was working in Miami, which is like over an hour away from where I am. And so I called his mom, and she didn't answer. She was taking a nap and her phone was off. Called another friend. She didn't answer. And then I called my pastor's wife, and she was like 10 minutes away. She was actually in the same shopping plaza that the urgent care that we went to was at. She was like, I'm on my way. She dropped everything and came and got me, her daughter. And so she brought me to the urgent care. By the time that we got there, she had called her husband. Her husband was already waiting there. And so, and before that, while I was waiting for her to come and getting dressed, trying to find something to wear, I had to throw on a dress. Couldn't even wear a bra because the burns were so bad over here, and it was just terrible. So I called Jamie, just let him know that we were going there. And I was like crying throughout the whole process, but it was just, kind of crying. He picked up the phone. I just started bawling as soon as I heard his voice. I'm getting like teary-eyed now just thinking about it. And just like hearing his voice, like I could barely even get it out what happened. And he's like, do you want me to come? Like, I'm leaving now. And I was like, no, stay. Like, Joey's taking care of it. We're going to the urgent care. So we get there, and in the car ride, it's just getting worse and worse and worse because I can't put water on it. So we're in the car. So we get there, and the lady's like, okay, you have to fill all these forms. And I was like, I need a bathroom. I need to put this on. She's like, here's an ice pack. And I'm like, ice is bad for it. And she was like, oh, yeah. So they give me to the back. They send me to the back so I can like put water in it. So it's fine again for a couple minutes. We fill out the forms. They get me right in. Such a blessing. So then we go to the back, and it's already starting. The pain's coming back because it was like 5 minutes. So he's asking me all these questions, taking my vitals and all this stuff. And I'm like, do you have a female doctor? Because I'm going to have to get undressed, and I don't feel comfortable doing that. And he's like, it's your lucky day. We don't usually have one, but we have one today. So I was like, praise God. So they get me in, start bandaging up, and they said, yeah, second-degree burns, burn cream. And they took about an hour for them to like patch me all up, put the burn cream. They gave me a shot to help with the pain. But while I was lying there, it was like excruciating pain. Like tears were just rolling down my face. I don't think I've ever been in that much pain. I've had appendicitis, I've had multiple sprains, but I don't think I've ever been in that much pain. It was terrible. And then the shot didn't like kick in until probably an hour and a half after they gave it to me, after I had already gotten home and stuff. It had started to kick in, and then it wore off in like 2 to 3 hours. So by the time that it was time to go to bed, it was worn on and the pain was back. So I barely slept last night. But by the time that I woke up this morning, pain was pretty much gone for the most part. It's back now pretty bad because of all the stuff that I've done today. Like I've overdone it with going to church and going out to lunch and stuff. But yeah. So that's my story. So if you ever fall, don't brace yourself by grabbing a pot of boiling spaghetti water. My words of advice. So it's my story. Sticking to it. Thank you for watching.